where at certain places in the webinar, we would take a small break, and that's where we'll try to interact amongst ourselves. Now, how can you share your responses? So one, you can share your responses via the method of chat, and you also have an option of sharing your questions. So I'll request the questions or answer capability, we can keep that for the interactions or the questions that you'll have, whereas the interactions that we'll do, we can do that over the chat. Now, this is where I think we should get started. So now I'll start sharing my screen, and then we'll get started with today's presentation. So once again, good afternoon and welcome everyone. My name is Adnan and I'm an e-commerce specialist at Global Inker. And the topic today that we are discussing, or we are about to discuss, is very interesting. That is digital marketing. And I'm very excited and keen to understand how many of you who are present here have an e-commerce website. So I'll request everyone, if you can just chat the links if you have an e-commerce website, or you can just chat that I have an e-commerce website. So wonderful. I can already see a few people have raised their hands. So wonderful. So you can also do that. You can raise your hands and let me know that you have an e-commerce website, or you can just share that with chat. So now I'll start sharing my screen, and then we'll get started with today's presentation. So it will take just a couple of seconds, and then I think you'll start seeing my screen. And before we'll kind of formally start the presentation, I'll also do a check that all of you can actually see my screen. So just a quick second. I hope everyone can see my screen. And if anyone is having an issue seeing my screen, kindly chat or let me know so that I can start sharing my screen. But I think everyone should be able to see my screen. So we'll be starting with our presentation here today. And thank you to the members who have shared or responded to my question that whether you have an e-commerce store or not. So thank you for your responses. So this is where we are getting started with today's presentation. And once again, a warm welcome to all the participants who are joining us here today. So let's get started with today's presentation. And this is about digital marketing for your online store. So firstly, let's understand what all we'll be discussing today. So what all items or topics do we have for our discussion here today? So creating banners and posts is the first topic that we'll be getting started with. Then integrating social media with your online store. Then running ads on Facebook, Instagram, and Google. That's the third topic that we'll be discussing today. After that, we'll touch upon discount coupons and schemes. And then we'll also briefly touch upon basic SEO practices that anyone and every one of us can follow. We'll not be going very technical and very detailed because that will be overwhelming. And the objective of this webinar is to help a common man, not a techie. So a common person with very basic computer detail or computer knowledge, or who can operate in computer and operate a smartphone, should be able to use this information. So we'll be sharing information from that perspective, not getting very technical at all. Finally, we'll break for a question answer round. So these are the 5 topics that we'll be discussing. The 6th one is a question answer round, where we'll discuss if you have a question, if you have a query, or if you want to understand what are the next steps, how can you proceed ahead. So those kinds of things we'll be discussing in the last section, or the last leg of our discussion here today. So let's get started, and we'll get started with the first section here. Now, this is where, just a second, I think I'll have to. Yeah. So just a quick distraction. Actually, I was just trying to see if I'm sharing the screen in the proper manner. So this video also, this presentation also has audio and video. So I was just ensuring that it is all coming fine. So at this stage, now we'll start discussing the first topic, that is creating banners and posts. Now, one very important thing that I typically do in my webinars and training sessions is to explain with a use case that as individuals, as business owners, the information that I am sharing with you, how you can utilize this information, or what is the benefit, what is the end goal that you will be achieving through this. And one very wise gentleman has once said to me that if the destination is clear, then the process or modality becomes easier to understand. And that's where I am first showing to you what is the objective or what is the use case that you can achieve out of it. So let's get started and let's understand. Now, here you have an online store, and what do you want from your online store? You want to receive orders from it, or you want to grow sales. Now, to grow sales, what do you have to do? You have to bring customers, or you have to attract customers onto your online store. Now, to do that, how can you do that? What are the options? Or how, if you have to invite customers, I'm not touching or I'm not talking about digital marketing. If you have to invite, if you have to tell customers, and those customers, just imagine for a second, those are your friends and family of your immediate influence network. If you have to tell them that okay, I have an e-commerce website, why don't you come and shop on my e-commerce website? How do you go about doing that? Any responses from the audience? So again, I'll explain the scenario here. So you have an e-commerce website, and now what you want to do is you want to tell people that now I have an e-commerce website. Why don't you come and start buying from my online store? So what are the options? So any guesses? I can already see there are a few comments coming. Send emails, share on Facebook, Instagram. Absolutely spot on. So you will be using social media to do that. So you'll be using social media to reach out to potential customers. That's one of the ways. So you'll be doing that. Now those customers have come to your online store. So they have visited your online store. So they are now on your online store. So how will you again confirm that information to them that you came to our online store? And if you are doing a promotion or if you are doing a campaign, so you have to reshare that information. So there is a scenario that they may forget that there's a special promotion going on onto the website, or they are entirely not aware. They just heard of your website, your online store through a friend or a reference. So in that case, you have to tell your customers again when they are on your website. So it is happening at two stages. So one, you are telling them that we have a e-commerce website, please come and shop from our e-commerce website. And when they are on your e-commerce website, that's where again you are telling them, okay, you are here, this is the special category that we have, or this is a special promotion that we are running onto our e-commerce website that may be of interest to you. So you'll be telling them, you'll be sharing that information. Now, to do both of these, what do you need? To tell people on social media platforms, let's say Facebook, Instagram, that we have an e-commerce website, or when they are on your website, how do you tell them that there's a sale going on, there's a promotional campaign going on? So that's where you create a post or you create a banner, and that's the first topic that we are discussing today. And that's the end objective, that tomorrow when you have your e-commerce website and when you are running promotion or you want to invite people, then you must be creating your social media posts, or you'll be creating banners. What is an ideal process, or what is a recommended process that you can follow? So that's what I'll be explaining here. So let's get started. I hope the use case is clear with respect to the first topic that we are discussing here today. Now, The first step when it comes to creating banners and social media posts, and which is something that we haven't seen a lot of members use that, and that is creating a mood board. A lot of brands do that very well, but creating a mood board is an ideal process one should follow. Now, why should one create a mood board? Because it gives you a line of sight. So basically what you want to do is you want to tell to the world, or you want to present to the world, that your brand or your business represent this, or it represent this value. Now, that information or that message is not only conveyed in the articles that you're writing, or emails that you're sending, or the product description, or about us that you have written. It is also displayed through the visuals that you are creating or using on your website, as well as on your social media platform. So it's a consistency of information that gets created. You creating a mood board. So what is a mood board, or what is a mood board consist of? So it basically consists of, on the right side of the screen you can see there is a mood board. So it basically consists of colors, patterns, shapes, images, number of things that you can use as references. Now, why creating a mood board is important? One, it gives you an inspiration. So whenever you are creating a news campaign or a new post, so you can get inspiration, you can affirm that you're again in line with your brand's core values and what you want to represent, and also give guidance uh, to you, to your design team, in terms of creating the right marketing material. What should you include in the mood board? So that's something that I've already explained. It can consist of images, colors, patterns, text, shapes, and words. So this was about creating mood boards. And now in the next screen, I'll just share you two examples, and where I'll need help from the audience. And this is a guess that we have to do. So we have to just look at, so these are screenshots of Instagram accounts of two brands, popular brands, and you have to just look at them and guess what this brand represents. So this is where we are all seeing that mood board basically convey to the customer what this brand stands for. So this is the first screenshot that you're seeing on your screen. So any guesses what this stands for? Although I can see it is a little smaller in the size, but at least I guess we should be able to. It's a beauty brand, right? Okay, someone was spot on in terms of the brand name. Yes, so this is where just looking at, so brand name is not visible, and someone was in fact able to tell the brand name very precisely. So uh, I'm also impressed with that. But what I wanted to convey is that just looking at this images, brand is not visible, but we are able to create a impression about what this brand stands for, and that's exactly what you'll be able to achieve once you have a mood board, and once you have, so your entire marketing, visuals, communication is very focused, and it gives your customers in a very good impression in terms of what your brand stands for. Sorry, the second is a little different brand, but again a very popular one. Any guesses on this? Yeah, again, it's a very popular energy drink brand, that's Red Bull, and this is their page. And again, you can see this also displays, so no product presentation here, it is just what this brand represents, and that is energy, enthusiasm, adventure. All right, so this was a little I thought of sharing with you with respect to creating the mood board, and how precise and sharp it can make your presentation or your communication with the customer. So we'll quickly move on to the next step, the step number 2, and this is with related to finding right images. Now, finding right images, you might be wondering, why do we have to find? We can get a photo shoot done very easily. Now, a lot of time that is not possible, and especially during the pandemic, this particular fact has been extremely highlighted or brought forth, that it is sometimes not easy, or sometimes you're not able to get the photo shoot done, and especially for SMEs or MSMEs, that's an expensive thing. So you can, when you can find the right images, and you can most of the images you'll be able to get royalty free, or you can even get paid images, and you'll be able to utilize them. So the advantages for finding images or using stock images is that they are cheap, easy, and quick to find. From where you can find these images, so there are a number of platforms which are there, so you can Google it, but I'll just list down a couple of names here. So we have Pixabay, we have Pixels, then we have Unsplash, then we have Free Images, then we have Freepik, and then one of the very big source of free stock images is Shutterstock, and this is they have more than 240 million images, which you can use from there. Now, this is where I am also sharing with you a coupon code that you can utilize to get an exclusive discount. So if you utilize, you can take a screenshot of this, or otherwise the recording of this presentation will also be available on our YouTube channel. So you can use this discount coupon, and you'll get it this exclusive 10% off on the best price that Shutterstock is giving. So this was the second step. So first step that we understood was creating mood board. The second step is finding the right images, and that's where you can use stock images from these platform, and then you can go about creating your banners and social media posts. Now, the third step is choosing the right imagery, and this is basically where you have to again align or look back to the mood board and ensure that the images that you're choosing are in line with the values that your brand or business represents. So using the mood board, again, as I was explaining, so you can use that to filter out and choose the right images. So does your images represent your target audience, or they resonate to your target audience? Are the images consistent with the image your brands wants to portray? Are the images royalty free, or if they are paid, then you have given the due credit, or if you're using loyalty free? So a lot of loyalty free images also need accreditation, so whether you are doing that or not, so you'll have to ensure all that. Does the images share out does the images stand out, or is everyone in the industry using those images? So these are a couple of suggestions that are there. Now, what I'll share, or I'll try to explain, is with two visuals. So first visual that you're seeing on the screen represents a family. So if your brand is about family values, etc., so this kind of an image suits you. The second example that you're seeing on your screen is about a youthful brand. So if you are a youthful brand, if you want to portray energy, then this is the kind of image that you can select. So this was about how you can select the right images. Now, the images, now you have created a mood board, you have found stock images, you have chosen the right image. Now what next? Now you may have to edit them, add text to it. What are the tools that are available? So that's the fourth step, the best designing tool, or the best design tools that you can use to create social media posts and banners. And why these tools are needed? Because a lot of time the images or the visuals that you'll be getting, they may not be perfect, and for any social media post or banner, there is certain message that you'll need to add to it, so that can be done using these tools. So again, I'll be sharing few of the free tools which are available, which anyone and everyone can utilize, and they're very easy to use. So the first tool that I would want to highlight here is Canva, which is a free tool which you can utilize. They also have a pro version, but the free version is also feature packed, and you can utilize that. The second tool that I would want to highlight here is Gravit Design. So that is another tool that you can use. The third one is a GIMP. So GIMP is basically a open source version of Photoshop, although it may not have everything, but it is like 90% there when it comes to features. Now, the last thing that I would also want to share here, and this is where a lot of members that I have interacted with over the years, they are not very comfortable doing that. They have an impression that we are not the creative people. We may not be able to do that. So it's better to have a professional do it. So if you need that kind of service, that Global Linker also provides SME design services, which you can utilize or to avail these services. It is very simple. You can just log into your Global Linker account, go to the offers section, and that's where you'll find SME design services. So you can utilize these services. So these services are not just limited to banners and social media post design. You can also get your logo and other collaterals designed using these services. So this is where we'll quickly move on to the second topic that we have in our discussion list today, and that is integrating social media with eStore. And as always, we'll start with a use case, trying to understand why should we do this. All right, so let's quickly move on and let's try to understand why do we have to integrate social media with our online store. So this is where imagine you are a customer and you went to an online store and you really liked their product. So you are genuinely impressed with the product that you have received from this particular store. Now you would want to be in connect with that particular brand or that particular business, because you want to do more business with them. Whenever they are doing a new product launch, you would want to explore or understand what is the new product, or whenever they are going on sale, you would want to buy more. How can you do that? So again, questions, queries, and this is where I'm guessing not questions, queries. Again, I think this is a very obvious one, so I'll just move on. And this is where the best way and the most easy way in which a customer can stay updated with respect or stay connected with a brand is using social media platforms. The second use case is where I, as a customer, liked a product and I want to share it with a friend or a family member. Now, how can I do that? So again, sharing it using social media becomes very easy and efficient. So I can easily share. I can share it with entire my friend base, or I can select with select friends. So I can easily do that, and that's where comes the capability to like and share, and that's exactly what we are trying to achieve here. So I'm just reiterating for everyone's reference. So the objective of integrating social media post or social media channels or giving a provision to like and share is to allow customers to stay in touch with us. That's the first objective. The second objective is that to give them this option, to give them this flexibility that if they want, they can easily share it with their friends or family members. So moving on, let's quickly understand what are the social media channels and what are their strengths. So the first and the most popular one, and with the largest member base, is Facebook, which has 2.853 billion user base, and this is an ideal platform for building brand loyalty. We have the second platform, which is closely following, is YouTube, and this is a great platform for building brand awareness and sharing educational content. The third platform that is very close to YouTube is Instagram with 1.386 billion followers, and this is a great platform for building relationships and conversations. Then we have LinkedIn with 753 million followers. It's a professional networking platform and ideally a platform for B2B businesses and business development. The lastly on our list is Twitter, which has 397 billion followers, and it's a great platform for public relations and reputation management. So you'll see a lot of grievances which customers want to share. They typically share it on Twitter, and that's where they are responded, or reputation management activities done by businesses and brands. So these are the different social media channels with their cores or their strengths. Now, this is where let's quickly move on and let's understand how you will be able to integrate social media with your e-store, and this is where I'll use a small tutorial video that should help you understand. So let's get started. Now let's understand how you can integrate your social profiles with your e-commerce platform. It is very simple. As the first step, you have to log into the seller panel. And once you have logged in, you have to click on online store in the left navigation. And then you have to click on social media. And this is where you have to just simply copy paste your URL. That's it. So for example, you want to integrate your Facebook page with your online store. So you have to just copy paste your URL. That's it. In addition, if you want to also integrate your WhatsApp number so that customers can directly interact and chat with you, so you can add your contact number. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is that it should also have the country code. So this is how you'll be able to easily integrate your social media pages with your online store. So this is how easy it is. So from your online store, it is all about copy pasting your social media URLs that anyone can do very easily. Next is adding social media floating icons, and this is an add-on feature. So it is something that you can do, and I recommend that you should do. So this allows your customers to easily share your products, your website, or any of your details easily with their friends and family. So this is where again we'll take help of a video to understand how this is done. So we'll quickly navigate to the next screen and understand how you can add floating social media icon. Now, before I play this video, I would like to highlight that this is done in two parts. So the precursor or prerequisite when it comes to adding floating social media icons is that you should have a Google Tag Manager account integrated with your online store, which is again very simple. If you have a Gmail ID, you can sign up and you can create a Google Tag Manager account. That's absolutely free of cost, and then you can integrate it with your online store. That would just require copy pasting your GTM ID onto your seller panel. If you want to understand how you can integrate a Google Tag Manager onto your online store, then we have a tutorial video about that on our YouTube channel. You can visit Global Inker's YouTube channel, and that's where you'll find that video. For the benefit of time, I have not included that into the presentation. Otherwise, it would have become a bit longer. However, we'll just quickly go through this video, which explains how you can integrate floating social media icons onto your online store.
Setting up floating social media icons has to be done in two parts. Setting up Google Tag Manager on your store. Integrate Add this plugin. Once you have Google Tag Manager ID added to your store, follow these simple steps to integrate floating social media icons. Step 1. Open Add this in your browser and create your account. Step 2. Select Share Buttons option to configure your code. Step 3. Under Tool Type, select Floating and click on Continue. Step 4. You can now select your desired floating layout. We recommend using the Smart Sorting by Add this, and you can set the number of services. Now, click on Activate Tool. Step 5. Once this is all done, you need to click on Get the Code tab on the top right panel. Under the Get the Code tab, switch to the Code Only view. Select your website type, which is an HTML website, and copy the complete code by clicking on the Copy button on the right. Step 6. Now open your Google Tag Manager dashboard and click on Add a New Tag button. Step 7. You need to name this tag. Here we are naming it as floating_share. Click on the tag configuration box. Step 8. As the Choose Tag Type opens up, under the Custom section and select Custom HTML. Now, you can add this plugin code copied earlier. Step 9. Click on the triggering box. Select all pages and click on Save. Now on the Google Tag Manager dashboard, click on Submit. As you click on the Submit button, A new window opens up. Click on Publish. On Container Version Description Overlay. Click on the Continue. Congratulations, your social media icons are now successfully added on your online store. Happy selling!
So that was how you'll be able to add floating social media icons onto your online store. This video is also available on our YouTube channel. So if you want to review it, you can visit our YouTube channel. In fact, the recording of this session is also available there. So moving on to the third point or the third topic that we have for discussion today, that is running Facebook, Instagram, and Google Ads. So let's get started. Again, we'll try to understand the use case why one should run ads on Facebook, Instagram, or Google. So these are customers, and what we want is these customers should visit our online store. Now, how do we make these customers, or how do we bring these customers to our online store? So this is where we have familiar customers. So these are customers who are associated with us. So these can be friends or family members who, or customers who know us or who have previously done business with us. So these are familiar customers, and that's where we can use social media, you can use emails, you can use messages, etc., to tell them that there's something happening on your online store. There is some campaign happening, or there's a offer going on. So there's a sales promotion campaign that you're doing. So you can inform them and you can bring them to your online store. So this is more of an information part. Now, the second type of customers are the unfamiliar customers, and I'm just using this terminology so that it is not sounding very jargonistic and every person can understand. So one is familiar, who know your business. Second is unfamiliar, who don't know your business, who are totally not associated and who haven't heard of your business, but they might be needing your products and services. So that's where your digital advertising comes into play, that you want to tell the customers who are not yet aware about your business, they are not aware about the products and services that you offer. You want to tell them these are our products and services, and also want to attract them to come to your online store and buy products from you. So that's why we have to advertise to reach to this larger audience who is not yet doing business with you. All right, so this is where let's first understand which platform is better. That's a very common question that gets asked by the members, that which platform is better. Now, that's something which you should answer for yourself, and that's is something that can easily be answered by answering these questions or finding answers to these questions. So the first question that you have to answer for yourself is where your customer is. So if you are clear where your customer is, then you can understand. So if your customer is young, then your customer will be on Facebook or Instagram kind of a platform, also YouTube these days. So those would be the ideal platforms where you should advertise. However, if you have a more matured customer who would typically search on search engines for your products, so then Google search will be a ideal platform for you. The second question that you should answer is your customers' buying journey. So how they are discovering or knowing about your business. And again, I'm talking about unfamiliar customers who don't know about your business. So how they will be discovering about your business. So how they can discover, and then how you'll be convincing them and how you can convert them. So starting with showing your products, and then probably remarketing ads to reaffirm and all that content. So that's where, again, your customer buying journey, if you understand that, that should help you understand which is an ideal place where you should advertise. How customers seek, or how they would want to engage with your business. So that's where, again, you have to think from a customer's perspective, that if you were a customer, then how would you want to engage with this kind of a business, or how would you want this business to approach you, where you would want to see their advertisements, or where likely I would go out and look for these products. So based on that understanding of customers' buying behavior, that's where you should be able to understand which is an ideal platform for your type of business. So this is where again we will not go very detailed into the advertising bit, because again it will become very technical. But here again I'll be sharing basics in terms of how ads can be sent. So this is where we'll start off with Facebook and Instagram, and I'll be using a video which is from Facebook itself to explain how ads can easily be set up, and then we'll quickly again touch upon how ads can be set up on Google as well. So let's get started with the video, and let's understand how ads can be set up on Facebook and Instagram.
Hi, I'm Liha, the founder of Liha Beauty. As a business owner, I take on many different roles, and marketing is just one of them, so I'm always looking for ways to save time and work more efficiently. Facebook Ads Manager lets me run all of my ad campaigns from one page. It's really easy, so today I'm going to show you how to get started. In order to use Ads Manager, first you need to set up a Facebook business account and page. Now your account and page are set up, let's take a look at Ads Manager. Here are some of my ads. To start, click the green Create Ads button. Facebook will guide you through the flow so you won't get lost. I like to be organized, so I always have a plan in place before I create my ad, which helps me with the next step, choosing an ad objective. Think about what you want your ad to accomplish. Remember, give your campaign a specific name in Ads Manager so you can easily find it later. Next, select the destination of your ad or where it'll send people. That could be your website or a new Messenger conversation. Next, I decide on the audience. Liha Beauty products are natural and organic, so when I build my audience, I look for people who have interests like organic skincare and healthy living. When you build your audience, think about your customers. What do they like and where are they based? Now, decide where you want your ad to appear, on Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger. You can also use automatic placements to take out some of the guesswork. Decide how much you'd like to spend and when you'd like your ads to appear. On average, I run my ads for 7 to 10 days and test to see which channel works best. Last but not least, create your ad. This is the fun part and you can be creative. Here are a few things I keep in mind when I make my ads. Blurry images are a no-go. Use text on images sparingly to make it easy for people to read your ad. And try using different formats like video or collection ads. Don't forget to experiment with all the available options and see what works. Thanks for watching.
So that was about how you can set up your Facebook ad. Again, as I mentioned earlier, we'll not be going very detailed into that part. The next is how you can set up Google Ads. So that's where again I'll be sharing a small video that should help you understand with the first steps, or it should give you a roadmap how you can get started with setting up your Google Ads. So let's get started with that.
This is a search ad. It's really simple to set up and allows you to connect your business with the people making related searches. Remember our florist example from the last video? Let's imagine you have lots of flowers to sell, and we know people love flowers. Your search ads connect them to your flower site. To start running search ads, you need a Google Ads account with an active campaign. So let's create your first campaign together. Start by clicking the plus button on the campaigns page. Step 1. Pick Search Network as your campaign type. This just means you can show ads in Google's search results. Step 2. Give your search ad campaign a goal. For example, let's start with website traffic. Go ahead and enter in your business's website. Step 3. It's time to give your campaign a name. You might end up running multiple campaigns at one time, so try to be as descriptive as possible. Step 4. You can show your ads to people interested in your products or services as they browse sites on the search and display networks. You can choose to run on both networks. If you want to run search-only campaigns, you can always change these settings. Step 5. You can also pick locations where you want your ads to show. For example, try starting with the United States if your ads and website are only in English. And if you only want to reach potential customers near your flower shop, you can narrow your location to a city or region. You can always come back to this later and change it. Step 6. Choose your target language. Pick all the languages your potential customers speak and that your website can support. Let's stick with English for now. Step 7. Time to pick a bid strategy. Remember, you'll pay each time someone clicks on your ad. There are a number of options here. If your goal is to drive website traffic, a recommended bid strategy is maximize clicks. This strategy is all about getting you the most clicks within your campaign's average daily budget. You can come back here later to try another bid strategy. Step 8. Enter in your average daily budget. To figure out your average daily budget, divide what you normally spend per month by the average number of days in a month. That's roughly 30.4. You'll see a bunch of other settings like site link or call extensions. Ad extensions are important and can help show your customers additional information in your ads. We'll go into those in later videos. Step 9. Don't forget to save your campaign. And that's it. You've created your first campaign. Congratulations. Now, the on-screen wizard will immediately take you to a page to set up ad groups and pick keywords. So what are you waiting for? Let's get to it.
So that was about how you can set up your ad campaign on Google Ads. So this is where we'll now be moving on to the next topic, that is creating discount coupons and schemes. Now, as always, we'll start with a use case, or we'll try to understand the use case. Why do you have to create discount coupons or scheme, or what is the benefit that you'll get out of creating discount coupons and scheme? So let's quickly understand the use case. So here again, we are starting with customers. So there are customers, and as every business we want them to visit our e-commerce store. Now the question comes, why should a customer visit your store? Now again, here any suggestions or inputs from the audience? If you want to share your thoughts, please welcome. You can share your thoughts using the chat. So the question is, why should customers visit your store? So I can see there are responses coming from members. Wonderful, really nice, and a few of the members are spot on. What attracts most of the customers is something special that is happening. So when it comes to, obviously, they may be knowing that you are providing the finest product that is there, and they have already bought that product. Now, what is that which will bring them again to your website? So if it is there's something that is special happening, or there's a special benefit that will come to them if they are visiting your website again, or there's a special benefit that they will get by visiting this website. So one of that special benefit is a discount, a financial benefit that may come to them if they are visiting your website and you're running a promotional campaign, that you come to our website and use this discount coupon and you'll get a 20% off or 30% off. There's an incentive because they know that this discount coupon is only valid for a stipulated period of time. And if they don't buy that, then they will lose on this opportunity to get this product. So that's one kind of a scenario. Or you are running a campaign where they know that if they are visiting your online store in this particular time frame, then they can get a special discount on their orders. So that's one special benefit that can attract people or customers to visit your online store. The next one is free product, which is again a similar kind of benefit, but this is where instead of a monetary benefit that comes to customer, they'll be getting a product. So this is where they get the benefit in kind. The third is a free shipping, which is not significant, but again, it also attracts customers because if they are genuinely interested to place an order, and if you are able to give them little benefit, even if that benefit is free shipping, then they'll be interested to come to your online store and place an order. So this is how you'll be able to attract customers to your online store, or this is how you'll be able to create discount coupons, in which we'll understand shortly, and then use discount coupons or create advanced promotional scheme and use this promotional scheme to attract customers, because there is a special benefit that you are able to offer to your customer in terms of a monetary benefit, that is a discount or a free product that you're giving out to the customers. So that's the use case of creating or discussing discount coupons in scheme, because these are the two weapons that you have in your arsenal to pull people to your online store, or the people who are already there on your online store, to make them place an order. So these are the two tools that are available at your disposal, which you can utilize to not only attract more people onto your online store, but also to increase convergence onto your online store. So let's quickly move on and understand. And again, before moving on, I'll also try to answer one very common question that's guest asked is, what is the difference between these two promotional tool? So firstly, we'll start with discount coupon, which is a very old promotional tool, I would say. In fact, it was used even before e-commerce or online commerce started. Even in brick and mortar, it was used, and till date, it is very extensively used. So it is a time-tested tool. It is easy to set up. It is easy to use. You give it to any customer, and you don't have to educate them that how you have to use a discount coupon. Most of them inherently know that, because this is such a popular tool that everyone knows how you are or how you can use a promotional coupon, or how can you use a discount coupon and get benefit out of it. Uh, it's a good incentivization mechanism. So whether you want to incentivize people to visit your online store, or whether you want them to place orders, so it is a good incentivization tool. It has other uses as well. So for example, you are running a campaign on your social media, that a contest on your social media, and that's where you want to award certain people. Now, as an award, instead of giving a monetary benefit or anything else, you can give them discount coupon, so that these people also visit your online store, and there is a particular value worth of discount that they are giving. But at the end, you are also converting those people as your customers. The next use case I just sort of sharing before we move on to discuss about the promotional scheme is where you have to refund certain amount to your customers. So instead of refunding the amount, you can also create a discount coupon of that equal value, and you can share that if the customer is okay to receive a discount coupon. In most cases, they are okay, because this is where they'll be getting a instant return, whereas if they have to wait for the financial return or the monetary return to come back to them, that's where it may take 5 to 7 days, and this is where they can get it immediately, and they'll be interested to place an order. So that was about discount coupon. Now, discount coupon inherently had a big issue, and the issue was that if the person does not have a discount coupon, they will not get the discount, even if you are running the promotional campaign. Or sometimes, and it has happened with me, you can also comment if it has happened with you, that you almost forgot to apply the discount coupon. So you placed an order, you were eligible to get the discount, but you forgot to use the discount coupon, and that's where you lost that opportunity. Sometimes customers don't feel good about that, or a lot of time it has also happened that customer was doing a typo error, they were not typing the right code, and that's where they were not getting the discount, and then that's where they were feeling annoyed, and a unnecessary or unwanted discussion started happening. So those were challenges which were there with the discount coupon. So the person who can use it, or who remembers to use it while they were placing the order, so can only use it. And then again, the other challenges were that it can be created only for a particular period of time. If you wanted to give incremental discount, that was not possible. So all those challenges or shortcomings led to the development of a newer modern version of discount tool, which we call as promotional schemes, or as a short name, only schemes. Now, the strengths of promotional schemes or schemes is, firstly, it is autonomous, so it works automatically. So if a person is qualifying to get the discount, they will get the discount. So if you have set up a criteria that all the customers who are placing orders above 1,000 rupees will get 10% off, so any customer who is placing order above 1,000 will get that discount. Then it is very flexible, so it has a lot more flexibility, not only in terms of time frame. So a promotional scheme can be set up for a shorter duration of time. It can be set up for as short as 10 minutes. So you can even run a campaign for 10 minutes if you want. It is again easy to set up, so it can be set up as easily as we set up our discount coupon. It can be set up for a short duration of time, and you can give incremental discount, and that's the biggest USP. So what do I mean by incremental discount? So if you want to run a promotional campaign, and where you want to encourage people to place higher value orders, so we are running a campaign that if the order value is up to 1,000 rupees, you'll get 10% off. From 1,000 to 2,000, you'll get 15% off. 2,000 above, you'll get 17% off or a 20% off. So likewise, you are telling the customer, if you are placing a higher value order, you'll also be getting a higher discount, and that can be done using the promotional scheme. So now I'll move on, and I'll quickly play two videos that should help you understand how can you create discount coupons and promotional schemes. So firstly, we'll touch upon how you can create discount coupons, and then we'll move on to understand about the promotional schemes. To create a new discount coupon, you have to first log into the seller panel of your online store. Once you have logged in the left navigation, you have to click on online store, and then you have to click on discount coupon, which will open the discount coupon creation section. Here, to create a new discount coupon, you have to click on the new coupon button on the right side of the screen, which will open this overlay. Here, firstly, you have to add a coupon code, where you can add a coupon code up to 30 characters, but it is not recommended. Ideally a coupon code should be short and simple. After that, you have to specify the start and end date. End date can be a longer period. So if you want to create a discount coupon which is valid for few months or few years, that can also be done. After that, you have to specify what it should be the discount type. So here you'll get three options. First is a percentage discount, so a percentage of the order value. Here you'll also get an option to specify the maximum limit of discount. The second type of discount is a value discount. So that's a absolute value, X number of rupees will be given if you're using this discount coupon. The third type of discount is a free product, and this is where you can give a product free of cost if the customer is using this discount coupon. Underneath that, you also get an option to offer free shipping in addition to what all discount you are already giving here. Underneath that, there's an option to specify minimum order value. So this is where you're setting a criteria that you must order or you must place an order of this value, only then you are eligible to get this discount. Then there are options to specify which payment method customers should use. Only then they can use the discount coupon. So for example, you don't want customers who are paying using cash on delivery to get the discounts. In that case, you can just deselect that. If you click on advanced, then you'll see this overlay will expand. And here you can see there are options to specify number of users. And this is where you can define how many people should be able to use this coupon. Underneath that, there's an option to specify how many times a person is able to use this coupon. Lastly, on the bottom of the screen, you get an option where you can specify if the customer is buying products from certain category, only then they'll get the discount, and only on the products that are from that particular category. Or if they are buying certain products, then they'll get the discount, or they are buying certain tagged product, only then they will get the discount. After you have added all this information, you have to click on save and the discount coupon will get created. So this was a short video on how you'll be able to create a discount coupon on your online store. So which is a very simple, straight away process. One question that I get frequently asked, so I will try to answer that, is for example, customer is placing an order worth 10,000 rupees. However, the discount coupon that we have created is specific to a particular category. So for example, we are a t-shirt seller and we are running a promotion on polo t-shirts, and the customer has bought different types of t-shirt, and the t-shirts, that the polo t-shirts on which we are running the campaign, and the discount coupon is for polo t-shirts, and that's where the order for polo t-shirt is only for 2,000 rupees, whereas the entire order value is 10,000 rupees. Now the question is, will the customer get discount on entire 10,000, or they will get discount only on 2,000 rupees worth of products that are from polo t-shirts? So the answer to this question is they'll get discount only on the 2,000 worth that are from the specified or earmarked category. They'll not get the discount on entire order value. So I just sort of answering that already. So let's quickly move on and understand understand how you can create the promotional scheme. So I'll just to create a sorry. Yep. So this is where we'll quickly move on, and we'll discuss how you can create a advanced promotional scheme. And again, I'll be sharing a small video where I have explained the scheme creation process. So let's understand that. And after that, if there are any questions related to discount coupon or promotional scheme, so I can see a couple of chats coming in. So we'll also discuss that, or I'll try to answer those chats related to discount and promotion. Moving on to discuss the next thing in the promotional tools armory, that is scheme. So if you recall, I mentioned there are three different. So I'll just open the scheme section. To open the scheme section or navigate to the scheme section, you have to click on online store, and then you have to click on schemes, and then the schemes section will open up. This is the scheme section where you are seeing the schemes which are there. So you have to click on plus sign to add the scheme. So this will open up. So this will look very much familiar to the discount coupon that we have just created. So across the store, by category, by product, by brand. So different options that we have. So if we want to restrict it to a particular category, particular product, particular brand and category, we can do that. For our case, it will be either both or B2C validity. So today, now in terms of date, something that we have to keep in mind, we have to also add a start date, and it should be something that is a couple of minutes from the time. So just a quick second, and so it is 4:02 in Philippines. So I'll add 4, 5 there, and then end date. anything. Sorry. Then the offer type, discount percentage, discount amount, or a free product, similar to what we did in the discount coupon as well. Offer criteria, whether it is based on quantity, that is how much quantity customer is buying, or on the basis of order value. So again, something that we can decide. So scheme name is Mary, added, enabled it. Now I'm setting it up on the basis of quantity. So if the customer is buying 0 to 5 items, then they are getting 5%. If they are buying from 5 to 6, then they are getting 10%, 5 to 10, sorry. And if they are buying more than 10, so they'll get 12%. So this is how I can set up a screen and I can offer discount to my customers. I'll just quickly click on save, and I suspected that. So it should be, sorry. It should be a couple in the current time. Okay, sorry. All right, so this is how you'll be able to set up the scheme. So this is where I just sort of, again, highlighting the point which was there in the presentation as well, that whenever you are creating a promotional scheme, one thing that you have to keep in mind is that the start time should be 5 minutes from the time which is there in your clock. So if it is 4 o'clock, then the scheme start time should be 4:05 p.m. Or if you're creating a scheme for future, then it will work perfectly fine. So for example, if you're creating a scheme for tomorrow, in that case, it will work perfectly fine. But because the scheme needs some time to kick in, and that's where in the system, there's a provision that you have to create a scheme which will start from 5 minutes from whatever the current time is. So that's how you'll be able to create a scheme. Again, these tutorial videos are available on our YouTube channel. So if you want to understand, you can visit our YouTube channel. Otherwise, I also conduct training sessions at 7:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. So you can join the training session, and that's where I explain about these concepts in detail. So this is where we'll quickly move on to the last topic that we have for discussion here today. That is basic SEO practice. And this is where we have experienced that this is an ignored area, but an extremely important one. And this is where, again, we'll not be getting very technical. I'll be sharing suggestions or inputs on something that anyone and everyone can do. So let's get started and let's understand. And as always, we'll try to understand the use case. What is the use case here, or why should we do a SEO or a on-page SEO, the basic SEO? Why should one do? Here, what we are starting off with is a unfamiliar customer. So the customers who don't know about your business, and if they want to buy your product, what is the first thing that they would do? In most of the cases, the first thing that they would do is they will search on search engine platforms. And when they are searching on your platforms, that's where from a business standpoint, what is important is that you should be found on the search engine platform. That's the first thing. Second, the information that you are displaying should be displayed properly. The third one is you should work on improving the ranking, but the first one or the first two are extremely critical. Now this is where if you do them properly, they'll be able to reach your business, or they will be able to come to your business, and that's where you'll be getting non-paid organic traffic onto your online store. how can you do that, or how can you go about doing the first bit onto your online store? So getting listed is once Google crawls your website, that's where you'll be able to do that. You can easily sign up on Google Webmaster, and that's where you can start getting your online store getting crawled by search engine. The second part is improving the content, and that's where I will be sharing my recommendations or suggestions with you in the next slides. So basically, what is search engine optimization? So search engine optimization is basically presenting the information that is there about your business and then ranking it up so that if the customer is searching by a particular word or a phrase, then the appropriate result is displayed. And when it comes to optimization, is that you are refining that information so that your search pages or your website starts appearing in the appropriate search terms. So if you have to find the right keywords, what is the tool that you can utilize, or what are the tools that you can utilize? So the tool is Google Keyword Planner, which is part of Google Ads platform. So you can again use a Gmail ID, so you can sign up for free on Google Ads, and that's where you can use Google Keyword Planner to identify or understand what are the terms that people are using to search on the internet for your products or services. So that's where it should give you fair amount of clarity. Now that information can be used to optimize not only your products search engine related information, but also your product title, your product description. So this is a very useful tool. The second tool is Ubersuggest. Now Ubersuggest is not exactly similar to Google Keyword Planner. Ubersuggest is more about what is happening in the world and what are the trending topics, especially in your industry. And that's where you can get inspiration, and you can also channel your social media campaigns, etc., in the appropriate direction. So I'll just make all of these visible so that we can quickly discuss. So when it comes to keyword optimization, so where all the optimization should happen, so it should happen in the page title, it should happen in the header, the subheadings of the page copy or the product description, image file name, image alt tag, meta title, keyword, and URL. So that's where the optimization should happen. Now the question comes on the linker.store platform, is it SEO optimized? So yes, it is SEO optimized. The only piece of information that you will have to work on are three, which is meta title, that is the title of the page. If you are not adding, still it will use the product title for the SEO part, but which is not an ideal thing or a recommended thing to do. You should ideally add a meta title to it. The second piece is the meta description. So that's where within 180 characters you are describing about what this product is or what this business is about. And that's where, again, if you're not adding that information, so again system will use the product description that you have added. But again, logically you haven't added the product description to be displaying the most vital information in first 180 characters, and that's where it is important that you add the meta description. Third is meta keywords or keywords that you have to add based on the research or the keyword research that you have done. So every business has their own keywords that they would want to focus on, and those can be added easily. The fourth one, which is alt image, and that's again an area where businesses, a lot of businesses don't do an effort. And this is where you're just telling the search engine that this image is for this product. And that's where when the person is searching by an image, the Google will be able to display your product images as well. So let's move on, and let's understand where are or what are the areas where you have to do the optimization. The most important area where you have to do the optimization is product description. Then you have your meta title, which is the title of the page. Then you have meta description, and that's the description of that particular page. So basically describing. So if for a moment, if you just imagine that you're searching on Google, for example, Now, meta title is that blue highlighted thing that you see on the search engine. So that's where within 60 characters that is displayed. The meta description is the text that appears underneath that blue line, and that's 180 characters. It can be more than 180 characters, but first 180 characters are displayed there. Then you have meta keywords, and these are 6 to 10 keywords that you can add there. Now, what is recommended here when it comes to meta keywords, and a lot of businesses, what they do is typically they add what all keywords other businesses are also using. But this is where I strongly recommend try to find a niche for yourself. It is not necessary that every business is a niche business, but if you can try to find or identify a niche for yourself, and that's where you can put a focus, and that's where the chances of you getting a lot of organic traffic out of that are higher as compared to just using generic keywords which everyone is using. Lastly, which I've also explained in the previous slide, is image alt tags. So this is again, you have thousands of image on your website, but search engine can't see those images. So you have to give them image alt tags. And if you're providing that, that's where search engine will be able to see and recognize these images and then display them appropriately. So few basic guidelines I would want to share when it comes to the product description part. So understand what your customer wants and what category of customer it is, and what your customers would want to see. Now, this is where instead of explaining through the text, let me share with you a few examples here, and you can see. So you are seeing on your screen 3 examples, and these are 3 different websites where they have used the product description. Now, product description is the most important part of the content, and that is again the least focused one. So because one reason is every business has so many products, but ideally equal amount of effort should be paid on improving this content, because this is the content that will give you business or that will generate your business. So your product detail page is like a salesman, so you have to dress it up in the best possible manner, and you'll have to give them the best script possible so that they can convert the sale. So similarly, when it comes to product description, you have to write it looking as if it is a salesperson explaining the product or service to a prospective customer. So what all you would want to explain. Now, a thumb rule that I typically recommend is that because the description has 2 sections, so a thumb rule that I explain to members is that in the summary section, don't add too much content there, because that's where you may overwhelm the customer and give a content or information overload to the customer. Now, imagine yourself, you are given 5 bullet points and a 5 paragraph to read and understand, which is something that is easier for you to understand or comprehend. Obviously 5 bullet points, because you'll be able to just decipher that information in a matter of seconds and you can understand that product. Similarly, if you have to read 5 paragraphs, that would take time, and you may not decide to do that. It will take time. I don't have time for that. And that's psychology also applies to your customers. So if you are giving them too much complex information, that's where they may not review it. That's where it is important that you break down your information in the summary section. Just display a brief summary and then bullet points about features, specification, etc., so that the customer is able to make a sense about what this product is, what are the benefits, specifications, etc. And then if they are interested, I'm not saying don't add information about the product, do add information about the product, but add it in the product description section. So there are 2 different sections. So the second section appears in a collapse state, so it appears below the product images, and that's where that additional information can be added. So if the customer is engaged, if they are hooked and they like your product, they would definitely want to understand more, and that's where that information is available at their disposal. So we are firstly not overwhelming them, and we are also providing them the right information that they would want to consume. All right, so this is where on your screen you are seeing 2 different examples. So one on the top right side of the screen, so that's where they have explained the product. So this is one very simple line, but they have explained what this product is about. Towards the left side of the screen, bottom, that's where you're seeing another way of explaining the product. And this is where the product is explained using columns. So this is where the product is split into, or the product description is split into 3 different columns, and then it is summarized and presented in a way. Again, it is very easy for the customer to understand this information. On the right side of the screen, that's another example of a beauty product. That's where again the product information is beautifully described. So now moving on, and that this is another question that gets asked. So if you have to optimize or do a search engine optimization or meta content optimization on our online store, so where should we start and how can we go about it? So you should firstly start with your homepage. That's the most important asset that you have. Then you can move on to category pages. So those are the next most important assets. And then you can move on to the product pages. So you can go in this order: start with homepage, then attack the category pages, complete all the category pages, and then move on to the product pages, and then work on improving all the product pages. Before concluding this session, so there is a small video that I would like to share with the audience, and that's about, again, basic search engine optimization, a few recommendations or processes by Google. So let's have a look at this particular video.
Search is a powerful tool. It allows users to find, share, and access an almost infinite amount of content, regardless of how or where they connect. Understanding how Google search works is essential if you have an online business and you want your customers to find you. Whether you have a website, blog, social media profile, or Google My Business listing, Google goes through a whole journey to find your business, categorize it, and show it to your potential customers. First of all, Google needs to realize your business has a presence on the web. For this, Google constantly searches for new content to add to its huge catalog. This discovery process is called crawling. Google generally discovers web pages by following links from page to page, finding new content never seen before. Once the Google crawler, which we call Googlebot, has found your website, it has to understand what the content is all about. This process is called indexing. Just as you would organize the inventory of your store, whether it's shoes, sweaters, or dresses, Google analyzes the content on your page and saves this information to its index, a database considered to be the biggest library in the world. How can you help the Google Index understand your content better? Learn more about that at the link in the description below. All right, now Google has found your website, and Googlebot knows you have an online shop that sells clothes. What happens next? When a user types a search query, Google's systems sort through hundreds of billions of web pages in the search index, looking for the most useful and relevant results in a fraction of a second. This step is called ranking. For a typical query, there are thousands, even millions of web pages with potentially relevant information. Google has to determine the highest quality and most relevant answers, returning the content that provides the best user experience and most appropriate results. Some of these factors may include the user's location, language, and device type. For example, searching for "buy a nice shirt" might show different answers to a user searching from New York than it would to a user searching from Miami. Remember, Google search results are organic and generated through sophisticated algorithms that make thousands of calculations for each search in a fraction of a second, based only on the relevance of a page to a user's query. Google never accepts payment from anyone to be included in organic search results, or to alter a page's ranking in any way. When you use Google Search, ads may appear with your search results, but they are clearly labeled so they are easy to distinguish from the rest of the page. So now you know that Google crawls the web to discover new content, Google indexes the content, categorizing it like a catalog, and Google's ranking systems scan the index to serve the most relevant results to users. If you'd like to learn more about how search works and how to improve your site's visibility in Google Search, follow the Google Webmaster Guidelines, read our SEO Starter Guide, and visit the Webmaster Portal, your one-stop shop for support documentation. Links to these resources are in the description below. Be sure to check out the next episode. Is my website...
So this was a short video I thought of sharing with everyone to explain how the search works. So this should give you a better clarity how the search works.
Search is a powerful tool.
Let me just quickly move on. And this is where we have reached the end of our discussion. So this is where, before I turn off my screen share, this is a small information about myself on the screen. So if any one of you is interested to connect with me, and I'll be more than happy to have a one-on-one session with you. So if you want to connect with me, we can note down these details. You can take a screenshot, or otherwise there's a QR code. You can scan that and you'll be able to add my contact details directly onto your phone. So whichever is convenient for you, you can utilize that. And before I turn off the screen share, so let's quickly start or quickly have a look at the questions and the comments that we have in the chat. So firstly, I'll start with the question section. So I'll just quickly review the questions. So in the meantime, as I'm just quickly going through the questions, if you have any question, please feel free to ask that question by adding it to the question answer section. So I'll try to answer the first question. So the first question is about the product pricing being listed in INR and not in USD. So if I'm interpreting the question correctly, so this is a question related to the point that the pricing or the products are displayed in INR in India. However, if a customer is viewing the same products from US, for example, in that case, the prices should ideally be displayed in USD. So to answer this question, yes, that particular provision is getting developed and will be available on the platform very soon. So the next question is something that I'm not very clear, but the question is about whether we are talking about a website or a sales portal. So we are talking about an e-commerce website and more specifically about Linker.store, a platform that Global Linker members can utilize to create a free e-commerce website for themselves. Yes, as a DIY solution, it is absolutely free to use. The next question is about a recording of the webinar. So yes, we will be emailing recording of this webinar to all the registrants and participants. The next question is about meta title and meta keywords. So question is about whether I'm doing or whether I'm adding a right meta title or a meta tag. So that's basically how the search or the search engine optimization works. So you start off with a basic based on your understanding, and you try to improve. So understand where it is taking you. And before you start creating meta title or meta description, it is important that you do a little bit of online research, understand people in your industry, if their website is optimized, the people who are appearing on the first page of Google search, what type of meta titles or what type of descriptions they are using. And based on that, you can understand what is kind of criteria or trend for your business. And then you can also use Google's tools which are available that should help you with the kind of search terms people are using, the way search is performing, and based on that, you can improve your ranking and your search engine related content over the period of time. The next is a very important question, which is around how should one business go about promoting their business. So this is just starting off, just create an online store. So what should they do? Immediately start the paid ads, or they just start off with organic one, and then what should they do? So ideally it is recommended that you should do both. So at one end you should reach out to your friends and family, telling them about your business, and try to promote it within your community, within your local area, and try to get more customers onto it. Similarly, create a calendar in terms of when you're going about it. Create a calendar in terms of your social media post, your marketing activities which you'll be doing, and based on that, keep your platform, keep your page engaging. So it is not like just created a Facebook page and that is more or less end of it. Just doing one post in a month will not give you that kind of traction. Try to do at least one post a week. Ideally, every few days you should be doing a post. Now, there are non-paid ways these days to do that. So that's where you can do a cross marketing, where you are working with another business that is not a competitor, and that's where they are mentioning about your business, and similarly you are mentioning about their business. So that's where their audience gets to know about your business, and your business, your audience gets to know about their business. So that's where you can leverage that. So there are groups and pages which are for a local area or a territory. You can reach out to them, and many of them allow explaining or doing a post about your business and promoting it to their audience. So that's another thing that you can utilize. So there are a number of ways in which you can get started without getting paid. When you're starting off with paid advertisement, so that's where, because it's a financial matter, and that's where you're investing your hard-earned money. So that's where it is very important that you are absolutely clear what you're looking at, what are your objective, whether it is a number of orders, whether it is customers, how much customers you aim to achieve, and then you uh, see or monitor the performance under a microscope. So every day understand where have you reached, what is working, what is not working, and based on that do that activity. So it's an involved activity, and based on your bandwidth and how you are placed, so you can do that. So ideally both should happen parallelly, because that's where you're familiar and unfamiliar. So you're reaching out to both audience, but that will also depend what is your bandwidth, how much time you can give. Because if it is a paid marketing, that's where you have to dedicate few hours a day just to ensure that everything is working fine. Just don't rely on what the other persons are saying. Next question is about homepage and product detail page. So homepage and product detail page, I was talking about adding meta information. So I was explaining the order in which you should go about adding the meta information. So the most important page on your website is your homepage, and you should get started with adding meta information there, and then you should add it on all your category pages, and after that you should add it on your product detail pages. And typically product detail pages are taken last, because they are more in number, and that's where they are taken last. But you can do them first as well, but that will totally depend on how many products do you have and how you would want to dedicate time to have a website, or we can use social platforms for construct next question is again a very interesting one. Is it necessary to have a website, or you can just work on social media platform? I would say prior to the start of COVID, if you have asked me this question, I would have said that yes, you can still work on social media platforms, and that's where you can just have an offline brand and then you can continue. But the world has entirely changed the way business is done post pandemic, and that's where now everything is shifting online. So whether you are in a B2B business or in your B2B business or a B2C business, irrespective what type of business you are, it is all shifting online. So that's where it is recommended that you should have a online presence, and especially because having a website is a very basic uh, type of online presence, I would say. It is just people can find you, you can be found online, that's it. Ideally, you should also give your customers a provision to understand about your products and services, and if they are interested, they can buy or at least send you an inquiry. So in addition to that, highlight your products. These are our products. Add testimonials, add information that we have served these many clients, add all that information. So if I am a buyer and I'm looking to buy that product, just looking at your website, I should be convinced that this is the business I would want to buy from. And that's what you should try to achieve. So the next question is how to work on content. So I'm again guessing the content that the member is referring to is the meta title, keyword, and description, or the product description content. So there are a number of AI tools also available these days. For example, Writer or Jarvis that you can utilize if you want to do that. They are paid. That's one flip side, but you can easily use those tools and you'll be able to generate fantastic content for yourself. In addition to that, there are tools like Quailbot, etc., that will help you improve your content. So if you're not very confident that what the content that you're producing is of the right quality, then you can use a AI tool called Quailbot, and that should help you improve the content. But more importantly, what is required is to speak the same language the customer is speaking online. So that's fundamentally the most important thing, that your customer is calling your product A, whereas you are calling your product B. So that should not be the case. You should be referring the product by the same title, and as long as the language is the same, you'll be able to relate to your customer, firstly. Second, because you're using the same terminology, same words, phrases, and that's where even on the search engine you'll be able to get the appropriate results. Next question was about ROI, and this is where I would say this is a very specific question. It varies from business to business, category to category. So depending on what is your objective, you should look at. So whether your objective is to get more customers onto your online store, that's where you can evaluate it, or whether your objective is to get more orders onto your online store. So that's where it will be a different strategy, and based on that you can evaluate and answer that. So there's no thumb rule on to decide what will be a good ROI or a good ROI criteria. Next question is, can we use Lynka.store as a website and start promoting? Yes, absolutely. A lot of members are already doing that. If you are not doing it already, please start doing that. It is a fully functional, feature-packed e-commerce website that you can create using Lynka.store, and you can also market it. So the objective of this presentation is to help you understand that these all activities are something that you can do to get more traffic and get more business onto your online store. Next question is, how can we register ourselves at GlobalLinker? So very simple. You can visit www.globallinker.com, and that's where you can sign up, which will hardly take 5 minutes. Any more questions? I'm just looking at the chat. So I'm just looking at the chat. I'm not getting any question. is one question about from a member who wants to understand more about how meta information can be added. So I'll request if you can attend, because we have already overshot our time limit by half an hour. So I'll not be possibly able to explain that here, but I'll request if you can join the training session that I conduct at 7:30 p.m. That's where I'll be able to explain and demonstrate how you'll be able to add meta content onto your online store. There's one more question that I've just seen in the chat. That is about if our store is live on any other domain, and can we transfer that to Lynker.store? Yes, you can do that. On a related note, sometime what happens is a member already has a website and they have an emotional connect to it, and but it does not have e-commerce. So how should they go about it? So in that case, what typically people do is two things. One is they add a buy now button, and that's where they link Lynker.store e-store onto it. So customers are still visiting their old website, they still retain that website, but they have just added a buy now button, and that redirects the customers to the online store, and that's where they are able to place an order. The second is that they create a subdomain to it, and that's where the e-store is made live. So that's like buy.abc.com. Okay, so the same member has chatted that, okay, so in that case, so you'll have to, if you have to deactivate your online store, in that case, you have to unpublish that store, and that's where it will. Yes, you can import products from anywhere. You can import products from your using a Excel file, or you can upload them one by one. So you can easily upload the products. So yes, Global Linker is a free platform. It's a DIY, absolutely free to use. E-commerce store is one aspect, but it is a business networking platform where you can find more buyers and suppliers for your business. In addition to that, there are a lot of other features which are available, which are focused to help you improve the efficiency and productivity of your business. So if you are already not signed up on Global Linker, I'll request please do sign up on Global Linker. It is absolutely free and it will take hardly 5 minutes. So on this note, I would once again thank everyone for taking out time and participating in this session. It is a wonderful and interactive session. Thanks for staying back. We have already overshot our time limit by half an hour, but thank you everyone for taking out time and attending this session. So this is where we'll conclude this session. I hope everyone has my contact details. So please do feel free to reach out. I'll be more than happy to connect with you and do a one-on-one session with you. So this is where we'll conclude today's session.